Hi, I'm Courtney Eckerly here in the Media Center at MarketingSherpa 2017, and here with me I have Lindsay Lyons, who is the Director of Global Content Strategy for Dell EMC. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So just to start off, tell me a little bit about the challenges you were having with your content strategy.
Yeah, what we were finding was that a lot of our content was very product focused and really quite technical. And it's not that we didn't need that, but we were not engaging with customers at the top of their decision making. So it all came down to the fact that we were talking about what we wanted to talk about and not talking to customers about what they wanted to talk about.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about what steps did you take to go about addressing that and develop some more customer-focused strategies?
Yeah, so the first thing we did was we went out and talked to our customers. We asked them really simple questions like, when you're trying to solve X problem, what do you search for on the internet? What kind of, it was beyond pulling keywords, but we just started to think like a customer and start to ask the same questions that they had. And then we went and did a content audit and saw, do we have content to answer those questions? And overwhelmingly the answer was no. So the first thing we did after that was plan to build content to address those questions. Next we evaluated, did it actually answer the questions in the customer's voice? Are we talking like they want to talk? Are we meeting them where they are? So, are we making them come to our site when maybe they're having industry conversations elsewhere? And then the last thing we did after we made sure that we were speaking in their language, meeting them where they are, we went and looked at, is it working? And we were really honest with ourselves when it wasn't working and decided that we had to change things rather than just, going with the recipe that we thought had worked for so long, realizing that customers are creating and consuming content in a different way, and we needed to change with it. So those were the overarching steps that we took, yeah.
So at that moment when you've talked to your customers and you've done your content audit where you've figured out that you're not addressing their questions and their pain points the way that you hoped that you would be, you realize you have to actually start producing that content,
Yes.
which is overwhelming for any team. How did you go about managing times and different concerns across different teams?
So what we did was we did an overarching stop, start, continue assessment. We said, first of all, what are the things that we want to start doing? And that was creating the content that we knew customers wanted. And we looked at how much time and how much budget we thought we would need for that, and resource too. Then we looked at what are the things we absolutely cannot turn off, either content that's working today, activities that are considered run the business that you just have to carry on. And then in that stop bucket, that was the hardest one. We looked at our content results. So what are the things that are just not working? In some cases, we found pieces of content that had only been downloaded 4 times in 6 months, and it was from people inside the company. So that was an easy one to put on the stop list, and then you take the budget and the resource and the amount of time to do all of those things and weigh it up against the start. And you take it from a priority list there. So that's how we took a very methodical approach, but we also had a layer of therapy in there, and we let people freak out, and we let people get angry, and we let people get excited, and it happened in that order.
So what were some of the results that you saw when it came to transforming your team like that?
Sort of psychologically, our team feels a lot more connected and effective in speaking to our customer. They actually started to light up. It wasn't this rinse and repeat talking about products all the time. Now we're getting to talk about solving problems for our customers using the same technology that we were talking about before. We also found that because we now know what is effective and we've gone through the pain and had the heartache of stopping things that maybe aren't working so great, we're happy to do it. So we got more efficient, effective, and then I'd say lastly, we're getting more creative. So looking at bringing in how we consume content in our everyday lives and figuring out a way to bring that into what we do every day.
Great. What would you hope that somebody who's attending your session would walk away from there knowing or understanding or being able to implement for themselves?
Yeah, I really want to give them the framework to implement for themselves. When we pulled together our framework, we knew it had to be flexible enough that it could go across global and regional teams. We also knew that it had to be able to scale to some of the world's largest markets, while also supporting some of the world's smallest markets. So I really hope that this is a framework that people can take and find something that they can bring into their, efforts and challenges, and also, figure out a way to push through, because it is important.
So what are you and your team working on for the future as a result of the work that you did in this campaign?
Well, that goes back to the stop, start, continue. So now that we've gotten effective and we've proved that this approach works, we are able to do a lot more fun stuff. So we're experimenting with how can we target customers with VR, virtual reality. How can we augment our targeting using artificial intelligence and some of those really sexy technologies out there that even if you target someone really effectively, if your content is bad, it's just going to be a bad experience faster. So that's the thing that's now allowing us to go out and do some of those more creative things. We've proven the case. We've proven it works.
Well, great. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me, and best of luck with your session.
Thank you so much.
And if you would like to see more content, please go to MarketingSherpa.com.